This game obviously is always huge. What does it mean when there's so much at stake in addition to just the rivalry itself?
Yeah, I think the way that we build it up, no matter what the records are, no matter what's at stake, it's always the same for us. And so that's kind of the nice thing, in the media's eyes and a lot of people's eyes, the game hasn't been big that past couple of years, but for us, it's always been like this is the only thing that matters. When you get to this point of the year, and we're fortunate enough that this year it does have a lot of implications, but either way, whatever happens, this game is always the biggest game of our year, and this is what makes or break our year.
I'm assuming you watched the 2006 game.
Yes, absolutely.
And then at the time, I'm sure, you would have been how old then?
10 years ago.
10 years ago.
12 years. Yeah, 12 years old.
And since then, the game, in terms of national implications, has kind of dipped for the most part. For you to be able to play in a game that has that kind of national implication for everything else, what does that mean?
I mean, it's really like you said, it's a dream come true. 10 years ago, you remember watching it. And then, to be able to have the opportunity to go out there and suit up and play in a game like this and that kind of magnitude, it's surely something special. And, you prepare the best way that you can so that you can remember it the right way the rest of your life. And so that's hopefully what you're building towards.
What's more important, beating the next team in line to possibly get to the playoffs, or beating Michigan?
Right now all we're worried about is beating the team up north, and
it just happens to be Michigan.
Yeah, always, and so we kind of taken the approach of, well, the only thing that matters right now is who we play, and this week it happens to be them, and so we don't care about the playoff, we don't care about the Big Ten right now. It's just let's just find a way to beat that team up north.
How much do you just flat out hate the team up north?
I mean, you're trained to, and that's the way we try to breed people here, is that's our opponent, and that's what, like I said earlier, that's what makes or break your season. It doesn't matter if we're 0-11 or if we're 11-0. That's the deciding point of the season. So I think it's the game's kind of has a new height to it, and we're really excited for Saturday.
When you think about people whose careers were defined by this game, does one person stand out, or one player? Or?
For me, when I grew up, Jim Tressel, he was dominant in the series, and so that's a guy I always remember, because he really took ownership, and that was one of the things that he took obviously immense pride in, and he was able to succeed at it. So, I'm a big Jim Tressel fan.
Jerry, you might have been asked this, but Urban Meyer said a while ago he likes you and Craig Feda so much. He might, if he had another kid, he might name him Burger Feda. Yeah. Have you thought about naming your first kid Urban Meyer Burger?
No, I can promise you my kid's name won't be Urban. So
Why do you say that?
I'll pick a more traditional name. I'm good. I'm not gonna. I'm just leaving it at that.
When you hear him say something, obviously he has that kind of respect for you and Craig. What does that mean to you?
Obviously, it means a lot. The relationships that you're able to build here with guys like Coach Meyer and Coach Fickell, Coach Mick. Those are truly the things that last beyond however long I play here. And so that's what's really special, is the people that you're able to interact with at a great place like Ohio State. So, that's something that'll hopefully carry with me throughout the rest of my life.
And you came here as a walk-on to have gotten to this point, to have gotten on scholarship, to become a captain. What has this career meant to you?
It's hard right now, in the midst of the biggest week of my career, to sit back and think about, where all the chips fell. So, hopefully, when I'm sitting back in about 2 months and I'm done with football for the rest of my life, then I'll kind of evaluate it then. But, right now it's hard to think about anything bigger than what's happening this Saturday.
You got hurt against Maryland.
Yeah, I got banged up, but I'm good.
You're good? Were you scared at that moment that, oh my God, I might miss two biggest games of the season?
No, I was always going to be out there, so I was never really thought about that.
Hey, a fun little question for you. You guys have Michael Jordan. Michigan's wearing these new Michael Jordan uniforms this year. Who do you think has the advantage in this Jordan situation?
I guess we got the real MJ, so I think we got, theirs is on a jersey and ours is a real player, so I guess we got to take ours.
How much is he impressed? What have you seen come out of him in especially the last 7 or 8 games? Have you seen a freshman grow up?
No doubt. Especially being surrounded by, he's right next to Billy Price and Pat Elflein. I think just being around those guys for that length of time, it makes sure that you grow and you have to mature. And, so it's been really cool to see him develop. And, but, he's going to be put to the test on Saturday, and, he'll be working as hard as he can to prepare for this game.
When you face an athlete like Peppers, what kind of challenge is that?
Oh, it's a huge challenge. Obviously he's a very dynamic player, but you know, we've faced dynamic players before, and you know, we have to do a good job of preparing and understanding him, what they use him and what he does best. And you know, I don't know a whole lot right now, but you know, come Thursday, Friday, we'll obviously be a lot more prepared and have a great game plan for
You
him.
know it'll be everywhere though, right?
Oh yeah, obviously they like to use them. They do a great job of using them in all sorts of places, and you know, give them credit for that. And we're gonna have to really prepare. And obviously, it's nice we don't have a whole lot of school this week. We can really take our time and you know, try to get as many looks as possible how they use them.
Have you seen a guy like that in the return game this year, like that kind of athlete that he is?
No, I mean, we had a couple guys that thinking about just, you know, punt returners. I know the two best guys that we would have played both got hurt from Maryland and Rutgers, and so you know, those were both dynamic athletes. But you know, this will be obviously the stiffest test we've had up to date.
What sets a great punt returner apart? I mean, in your opinion, watching them on video, seeing them live, what
Yeah.
sets them apart? What do they do that the average guy doesn't do?
Number one, I think they're aggressive. You know, some people are always quick to call for a catch or let a ball drop. Your best ones are always aggressive to the ball and willing to take every chance they can. And I think he does a great job of that. And then, you know, he's a guy that he's going to get vertical. He's going to make a couple cuts, but he's going to get vertical and he's going to get there quick. And so he really puts a lot of pressure on you to get to him fast and force a fair catch because, like I said, he's going to be aggressive and try to take every opportunity he can.
Joe,
There's some uncertainty at quarterback, and with O'Korn not having a lot of film, does that put a different kind of pressure on you guys? Or do you go back to Houston?
Yeah, I mean,
Watch him at Houston, or what?
I think, I don't know, like I said, I haven't watched a whole lot just yet, but I doubt that their system, I don't think, you know, just from watching brief parts of the IU game last week, I don't think their system changes as a whole. Obviously, there's individual characteristics that we'll have to take a look at from each quarterback, but, you know, I'm sure we'll prepare for the system as a whole and be prepared, and then, you know, we'll have just small wrinkles for depending on who's going to be a QB.
Joe, if you win on Saturday, you're going to be in a very interesting situation in which if Michigan State loses to or beats Penn State, then you're in the Big Ten Championship, but your resume will be strong enough that almost certainly you'll be in the college football playoff. So you have this yin and yang about, okay, you understand where I'm going.
Right.
What's your feeling about, I mean, how much do you want to play for the Big Ten Championship game,
Right.
even if it could cost you playing, obviously, a good
Well,
team?
you know, the beautiful thing is, you know, if we're playing somebody else on a schedule with, you know, no disrespect, but, you know, it's easy to look past this game or think about outside things that we can't control. You know, when you're obviously in the middle of the game, in the rivalry, you know, it's easy to just say, all right, let's get rid of everything else.
Right.
All that matters is what we have on Saturday. And, you know, Saturday come 4 o'clock, we'll do whatever, we'll reevaluate and look at other things. But, you know, that's the best thing about playing it in such a game of this magnitude is that, you know, you don't have to worry about anything else because that's literally all that matters. And that's what we train for year round is for this game. So, you know, to have that opportunity and, you know, to be naive enough to look at the college football playoff right now, that's just stupid in my opinion.
So you guys haven't even
We haven't
discussed,
even,
thought
I mean,
about
it's
it?
this is all we care about. You know, like I said, 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. So, you know, that's, you know, to look past that. I mean, after how much work we put in would be something that's just, you know, that's not who we are.
Joe, we were talking about guys whose careers are defined by this rivalry, and I think for a different reason, Marcus Hall's career was a little bit defined by this rivalry. Your first game against Michigan was in that 2013 game, I think.
That's right.
What was kind of your vantage point? And I'm sure that was a heck of a welcome to the rivalry.
Oh yeah, I mean, I remember a couple people getting kicked off. I think Dontre was one of the people kicked out, right? But you know, that was just kind of my first real taste of you know, how bitter the rivalry is, and you know, I'm sure there will be a bunch of chips on shoulders this weekend, and you know, I'm sure there'll be a lot of talk. And but I think that's one of the things that makes it so special is how much pride the players from each side put into it. And you know, it'll be highly contested. It'll be a hot game on Saturday, and we're looking forward to it.
You were talking about Coach Tressel and the respect you had for him and what he did against Michigan. Coach Myers 4-0. If he wins Saturday, obviously 5-0. You've been here for all of them. Like, that would be crazy, right? To have a coach who starts off 5-0 in this game.
That's the goal. I mean, I think, you know, when he took the job, I think is, you know, up there, you know, list of #1 goals is, you know, to beat the team up north. And, you know, if he's able to come in here, he's got 4 gold pants right now. To get a 5th one in 5 years, that's obviously, I think, you know, if he looked back and said that that's one thing he could accomplish, that'd be #1. And so, you know, I know right now he's working he's working with everything he's got to go prepare for him. So I think he's really excited about it.
Joe, from one run to another this year, senior class has a chance to sweep Michigan. I mean, there was a time where senior class was just looking to beat Michigan. I mean, to beat them 4 straight years. I mean, what would have been?
I mean, it'd be unbelievable. Like I said, the records didn't matter. Our first couple of years when their records weren't that impressive. They're going to give their best shot against us, and we're going to give our best shot against them. And so to have the opportunity to have, for me, looking at that 5th gold pair of pants, that'd be something that, screw the 2014 national championship. That would be the #1 source of pride.
Joe, a couple more questions from Joe. The difference between the schools and the football rivalry that exists, but do you know the beginning of the rivalry between the states? How it began, like the Toledo War? Do you have any? I
mean, they hit us with a little trivia. We know about. I know how the gold pants tradition started. We know about the snow game where all the punts, all the block punts, and we know little tidbits, but I can't say I'm that well rehearsed on how it all started. I know about the Woody versus Bo era and how awesome that was, but no, I can't say I'm that well versed.
Joe, the gold pants, there was a certain, they're quite literally a charm. There was a certain charm to them. Of all the things you can take away from your Ohio State career, that's, I know for a lot of players, the most valuable thing.
Right.
Is that the case with you? And if so, why so?
Because, you walk around our facility, you see it every day. There's always a ticker. And, when you walk in here, it's understood that, listen, our season depends on whether or not we beat them. And, we could be 0-11 or 11-0. And that's the thing that matters most. And, that's who we train for. That's who we, that's when we do our mat drills, when we do all that, that's what we think about. We think about how can we beat that team up north. And so, that's the #1 thing in my career. I got to find a way to get that 5th gold pair.
Hey, Joe, you talked about how important composure is. How do you practice that? Because, Urban's not going to let Pat Elflein swing a helmet at you to see if you keep your cool.
Right. I think that's something that we prepare for every day, and
how though?
And Coach Meyer challenges us, he plays music during practice, he tries to create chaos. And, Coach Fick always talks about, we got to find a way to control the chaos. And, I'm sure they're going to have some new wrinkles for us on special teams, defense, and offense. And we have to find a way to take what they give us and, go back to our fundamentals and be able to handle that. And that's all football is just controlled chaos.
Joe, when you go out on the field on Saturday or go for that coin toss, apart from the maize and blue, have you thought about your last game in Ohio State and what it'll mean to you being a lifelong Buckeye fan and your family as well?
Yeah, it's hard to think about right now. I don't know if that reality has really set in, but especially with the game coming up and having it mean so much, and this thing has been built up all year long. But at some point down the road, I'm sure it'll really hit me. And at some point on Saturday, it might hit me. But I don't know if I can describe it until I get out there in that tunnel for one last time. I hug my parents, and I'm sure that'll be a special moment for me. But you try not to think about it as much as possible.
Do you rather have it this way, be 2 versus 3, playing for a chance at the playoff? Would you rather have it that way than, are you happy the season has unfolded this way for both you guys?
To be honest, I'm being perfectly honest. It doesn't really matter to us. Like I said, we could both be 0-11, and it'd still be, in my mind, it'd still be the biggest hype game of the year. It could be, could be for the national championship. But as long as we're playing them, that's all that matters. And I think that's what makes this rivalry so special is how much pride we put into it.
Joe, you guys allowed kick return for a touchdown against Oklahoma, and it seems like more so this year than the years past. Every now and then a team gets a kick return out on you guys. In your special teams meetings, are you seeing anything differently with how teams are approaching the way you like to handle kickoffs when you try to pin that guy in the corner the way you do?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we've done anything differently. It just comes down to we've had a couple guys that haven't got their jobs done in particular instances, and fortunately enough, our offense has scored a lot of points. So, when you have so many kickoffs and you play against a guy like Mixon from Oklahoma, who's obviously a stud. You might get one out on you, but we work as hard as can be. We put just as much focus as we always have in kickoff, and we just got to focus on the little details because obviously we're playing an elite guy this week. So.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, guys.